Hello, beautiful peaches. Welcome to the Macros, Metabolism, and Motivation Beautiful Peach podcast. I'm your host, Caitlen, here to help you find your most unwavering love, beauty, and kindness for yourself inside and out. I will be teaching you nutrition and macro tracking secrets, reverse diet and metabolism health tips and tricks, and motivating the heck out of you so you will want to leap up and start conquering your goals right away. I am here to help bring you the light at the end of the tunnel so you can discover that self-love and truly become the most confident, beautiful peach possible. So grab a pen and a piece of paper, or if you're in the car at the gym, go ahead and bump up your volume just a little so we can drown out those gym grunters next to you, and we can go ahead and dive right in. Don't forget to snag your completely free high-protein macro cookbook by simply doing a 5-star rate and review on this podcast. All you need to do is submit a 5-star rate and review, then send us your name and email through the link in the show notes so we know exactly where to send your cookbook. By submitting your 5-star rate review, this will also automatically enter you into the weekly podcast macro calculator giveaway. Every week, I give away a copy of my See You Schmidt macro calculator to one lovely winner who leaves an awesome 5-star rate and review. This winner is announced every week on my Instagram story as well as my newsletter email list. So leave that 5-star rate and review, and I'll see you in the episode. What is up, my beautiful, beautiful peach? Today, we are going to talk about gaining weight overnight. Weight gain can be scary. I mean, the honest truth here is weight gain can be scary, especially when we feel out of control in our weight gain. When we wake up a few pounds heavier than we were the day before, and we immediately think, oh my gosh, did I just gain 5 pounds overnight? And there are some truths to that weight gain. There are some myths about that weight gain. And I want to take the time in this episode to really clear up and help you understand overnight weight gain and give you a little bit of peace of mind as well. And some ideas of, hey, are you okay? Are you gaining weight? Or should you just let it go? So without further ado, here is podcast episode. I forgot the number. I think 105. Gaining weight overnight. We are going to talk about the truths and myths uncovered. Unwanted weight gain. There is no way around it. It is not fun. Whether it is true fat gain or it is weight that is showing up from bloat, from digestion, from other external variables. And the very first thing that we need to cover in this episode is, what is weight gain? What is weight gain specifically, more specifically, I should say, what is weight? And I honestly think that weight can show up as two different things. In my mind, I see them as two separate things. Number one, we have fat gain. And this is usually more permanent unless you heal your metabolism to lose weight in order to lose that fat and keep it off sustainably. But number one, we have fat gain. And number two, we have weight gain. And this is usually not permanent and can go away within a day or two. So I'm going to talk about each of those because you may be sitting here thinking, what the heck are you talking about, Caitlen? They are the exact same thing. And I want to give you some clarity because they are in fact not necessarily the same. So fat gain, this comes from overconsumption of food compared to where your metabolism sits. For example, if we have been restricting and eating 1,200 calories, our metabolic set point, aka our metabolism, is sitting at that 1,200 calorie point. You can listen to episodes 91 and 92. Those each talk more about a slow metabolism if you're like, hey, do I have a slow metabolism? So 91, why low-calorie dieting slows your metabolism and causes weight regain. And 92, reverse dieting 101, a beginner's guide to healing your metabolism. Those are both going to give you a little bit of the ins and outs. So if we have been restricting at 1,200 calories and we consistently eat over that 1,200 calorie place, that can lead to fat gain, okay? 1 true pound gained comes from from overeating by 3,500 calories. So if you are eating, because one true pound of fat coming on our body is equivalent to 3,500 calories in addition in surplus compared to where your metabolism sits. So if you are eating 1,200 calories a day, you would need to consume 4,700 calories in one day in order to gain a true pound overnight. And that's 8,200 calories in one day to gain 2 true pounds overnight. That is a lot to consume. It really is a lot to consume. And something to note as well is if you are tracking your macros and you are consistently hitting those macros and you have a day where you have a free meal, you slipped up and you had a binge, number 1, give yourself a hug. You're going to be okay. Let's figure out why you binged and heal that trigger. But number 2, you can just jump back into where you are eating and move on and your body will bounce back. So this is more of if you are truly consistently eating over that place, over where your metabolism sits, you are truly consistently eating in a surplus without not including reverse dieting. Reverse dieting, yes, we are eating more. However, we are strategically adjusting our macros, our protein, our carbs, and our fat in order to properly heal our metabolism without the weight regain. So if you are just simply eating more without reverse dieting compared to where your metabolism sits, that is going to lead to fat gain, okay? Now, this is also why I do suggest tracking your macros. You will know for sure that the amount of food that you are eating is 100% on point with your goals. I highly, highly, highly suggest grabbing my macro calculator. It is a great place to start. It's a 3-step process. So it'll help you figure out where your metabolism sits, where it needs to be, and your proper macros from there. It's got video modules. You actually get spreadsheets that will walk you through step by step how to go about this. It's what I personally use for all of my clients when figuring out their actual macros. So it is absolutely amazing. So if you've never tracked your macros or you're tracking and you want to make sure that you have the correct macro goals, go grab the macro calculator. I will drop it down below in the show notes for you. And if you're brand new to macros and you're like, I don't really know if I want to track them, but I think I do, go grab, it's completely free. I have a free food freedom and macro guide that'll give you the basics of macros in the sense of learning what they are and why you will benefit from them. So those are for you. So main gist here is I really do suggest tracking macros because it'll give you the peace of mind of you knowing that you're eating the correct amount for your body. And also the fat gain is going to be coming from consuming consistently consuming a surplus from where your metabolism sits. Okay. Now, this leads us to the term weight gain, which yes, weight gain can also be a term used for fat gain. I see them, interchange, and I personally do too sometimes. Because so many people say weight gain and it's looking at it as fat gain. But I think what's really important is too many people hyper focus on weight gain without actually knowing if they are truly gaining fat on their body or if their body and their weight is just fluctuating and is having shifts. So while yes, if you gain 10 pounds of fat, this will show up as 10 pounds more of extra weight on your body, there is a very fine line that you want to pay attention to on a day-to-day when your weight is shifting. So let's talk a little bit more in depth about weight gain and how this impacts your body. So it is very, very natural for our body to fluctuate our weight on a day-to-day. This is why I highly encourage you to track your weight as a weight range. You can go to episode 84, Finding Balance, Unlearning Diet Culture and Breaking the Restrict and Binge Cycles, as well as 85, Freeing Yourself from the Scale Obsession and Embracing a Healthy Body Image. Both of those talk a bit more about the fears of the number on the scale. But what I really want to talk about in today's episode specifically is tracking our weight range because our weight does fluctuate. When we track in a weight range, what happens is we start to disconnect from the absolute obsession of seeing our weight go up 0.2 of a pound, quote unquote, a pound. And that's the thing too, right? So people will say, hey, my weight went up 0.2 of a pound, I've gained weight. And it's like, no, you actually haven't. Your overall weight that your body is showing up on that scale today has fluctuated because of external variables, but you do not have that fat on your body, especially, I should say, if you are tracking your macros and properly going through, the proper macro adjustments there. So, and I've been there. Back in college, back in my freshman year when I was really struggling, I would weigh myself, like 10 times a day. Quite truly, it would turn into such a spiral. I would weigh myself first thing in the morning, and that became my determination of if I'm going to have a good day or bad day. And also, if my weight ever goes up, even if it's 0.1 of a pound throughout the rest of the day, well, then I need to starve myself more. I need to do more cardio. I need to be more restricted. I need to say no to more social events. And the problem with this is, number one, our body actually should weigh more, right? Remember, weigh more at the end of the day because we are consuming food. And so a lot of people, your body, when you look in the mirror at the end of the day, should and will look different than it did first thing in the morning when you don't have food in your body. This is not an excuse, nor is it a reason to not eat during the day, because what's going to happen is it's going to slow your metabolism, but it's also going to be depleting your body of nutrients, and it's going to be down regulating the way that your body properly works. So as much as we want to say, hey, I wish I could look morning lean 24/7, it's not realistic, and it's also not healthy for us. Our body will look different in the evening. Our weight will be higher. That's why I say weigh yourself first thing in the morning, okay? Weigh yourself first thing in the morning if you are paying attention to your weight. And also remind yourself that the weight on the scale is not equivalent to fat gained, okay? It is not equivalent to fat gained on your body. Now, especially when we're looking at weight ranges, what happens is we're able to have that peace of mind of saying, hey, my body is fluctuating and that is okay. I am solely using the number on the scale, the weight on the scale, as a general guideline for XYZ, right? So for reverse dieting, we do like to use the number on the scale as one of our indicators. I repeat, one of our indicators, but it's not the only indicator of success because we have a weight range, okay? And the beautiful part about that is, let's say that we weigh 180 as an average, okay? And in the past, we're used to saying, how much do you weigh? I weigh 180. No, we want to actually say, I weigh 177 to 183. I had to do the math. I was like, what range is this? But obviously people aren't going to be like, 177 to 183 is how much you weigh. But that's the way that I want to have you start changing the way that you're thinking about your weight and give it a range. My weight can fluctuate so much, probably more than your average person. I woke up and actually today it was on the lower side. Yesterday it was on the higher side. Tomorrow it could be on the higher side. But the point is, it's a weight range, and I know that I am exactly where I need to be with my goals. I am tracking my macros. I am right on track, and our body fluctuates, okay? So have you had enough water? If not, your body's going to retain water. The weight on the scale is going to go up. That does not mean that you have put on fat overnight. Are we bloated? Yes, bloat is annoying, but it's also temporary. I think so many people, when they have bloat and they wake up, they start to tear themselves apart and think that they have done something wrong. Bloat is natural for their body. It is natural for our bodies to be bloated here and there, whether that is being at a certain part in our cycle, depending where our period is, or it is simply because your body is just reacting to something, or it is because you are traveling. Maybe you didn't get enough sleep. Maybe you're stressed, right? There are so many different factors that play into our bloat. And yes, it's annoying. It's not great. Sometimes it's very inconvenient. But when I'm bloated, I will put clothes on that I feel good in, and I will move along. I don't go look in the mirror and tear myself apart, because the more we negatively talk about ourselves, the more you are manifesting those negative outcomes. You cannot go into a next chapter of your life if you're going to sit there and you're going to, tear your body apart, because you would never allow your best friend, your daughter, your mom, your sister to tear their bodies apart. You would encourage them to do better, so you get to do better too. You get to own up, to show up, and to stop with the negative body talk, okay? You might not have had enough sleep around our period, right? I said that. You may not have pooped yet. Sorry to be completely honest. You might not have gone to the bathroom yet. It is just our body being our body, and weight fluctuations are normal. So when your weight goes up overnight, it's important to recognize this is not fat gain, and you also need to really disconnect from the number on the scale and really work on the long-term changes that you are working towards. So I'm getting really worked up here because I've been in this space, and I want so badly to go back and give my younger self a big, big, big bear hug and say, you're okay. You are okay. Take a deep breath. I've got you. You're going to be great in a blank number of years. And even back then, I think like I put off taking actions for so long because I thought I was broken. I thought I was stuck. I thought that this is just the way that it was going to be. You know, when I actually took action and I was a few weeks in, a few months in, I was like, oh my gosh, if I could just go back and give myself a hug and say, hey, in a few weeks, you're already going to be changing. Like, that is incredible. So when you take action, your life is going to change, but you get to own the heck up to your potential. You get to show the heck up. You get to take ownership and know how worthy you are of these changes, okay? So coming back here, if you are consistently eating in a surplus, you are consistently eating in a surplus compared to where your metabolism sits, yes, you will actually start to see fat gain over time. It takes 3,500 extra calories consumed to gain weight overnight, to gain 1 pound overnight, okay? And also, I also want to be very clear here. You can consume a surplus overnight, and it's not like you're just taking that. Let's say that you've eaten 1,000 extra calories. So okay, here, let me do an example. Let's say that you track your macros. You are consistent with your macros 99% of the time. You have a free meal. I actually don't have my clients track how many calories are in their free meal. We don't want it to be a binge. We want it to be like a moderation situation. Eat whatever the heck you want. Could care less. I hope you enjoy it all. Just don't make it a binge, right? And let's just say you see your weight fluctuate. It's not meaning that surplus of calories that you ate stuck straight to your body. That's not the way that our body works. It has to be a consistent consuming in a surplus to where our metabolism sits for it to turn into true fat gain on our body. It is quite truly, it's like almost impossible to literally gain fat overnight. It genuinely is, especially if you are tracking your macros. Like, it's really, really hard for that to actually happen, okay? It needs to be consistently eating in a surplus compared to where your metabolism sits, which is why when women are eating 1,200 calories in a restrictive place and they give up and they start immediately eating, 2,000 calories, over time, yes, you're going to gain the weight back, which is why I suggest doing that reverse diet. And also, if you're looking at the scale and it is fluctuating, ask yourself, number one, are you tracking your macros? If yes, you are golden. If no, then my gal pal, get yourself the macro calculator. Let's get you tracking your macros. And number two, are you stressed? Did you get enough sleep? Have you had enough water? Did you go to the bathroom? Enough fiber? Did you drink more alcohol? Are you traveling? Is your body just being your body? Like, there are a zillion different factors, okay, that could come into this. And my biggest tip that I personally, that saved me and really helped me heal, and to be fully transparent, I could care less what the number on the scale says. I really could care less, because my body, I genuinely think I'm very happy in the body that I have right now. And my body has changed in so many different phases. And I think it's important to note that the number on the scale does not dictate your happiness, and it also doesn't dictate a certain look on your body. So you may think that you want to be 150 pounds, but you actually find that you're obsessed with your body at 160 pounds, okay? It's really important to note that the number does not dictate. You want to be looking at your results and your goals and where you want to go on how you look and feel, rather than what the number on the scale says, because the number does not matter. It does not matter, okay? How you feel about yourself, how you feel in your body does matter, okay? So my biggest tip here is truly tracking macros, healing metabolism, and healing my relationship with food. Those three things changed the absolute trajectory of my life. It changed who I am as a person. I really feel that I have stepped into this chapter of my life. I have stepped into this person that I've always in the past wanted to become. And there will always be growth. I will always forever be changing. I am always making mistakes, and I'm learning from them. I accept and acknowledge when I make a mistake, and I learn from it and grow. And the beautiful thing here is when you're tracking your macros, you're on the right track. When you're healing your metabolism, you're going into a higher space without the weight regain that is normally associated with just eating more. And also when you're healing your relationship with food, you're getting the best of all of the world, so you can change your body into a way that makes you feel absolutely amazing in your skin, and also healing from the inside out. And if you need support, if you really you want to see this change, but you are struggling, I encourage you to take a peek at my Beautiful Peach Mastermind, BPM. It is my high-level group coaching program. I do not see you as a number. You are a human. You are an individual with a personal life, with a different metabolism than anybody in the world, with a different diet history. You get to have your cake. Have your cake and eat it too, right? Smack dab on the front of my website, I say, have your cake and eat it too. And it's important because you get to have the best of all of the worlds out there, but you have to show up for yourself. It's not just paying $9.95 and getting the results. No, you have to invest in yourself. You have to get rid of the quick fixes. You have to put forth the intentionality of seeing these changes happen. And it's not going to be easy as 1, 2, 3, but it's also not going to be so incredibly complex that it's impossible. It should help you grow. It should help you learn and find the education behind this, which is why for my BPM clients, I like to teach you how to actually adjust macros. So this is the last program that you will ever need. I am saving you time. I am saving you energy. I am saving you money in the long run because I want you to have the sustainable results. I want you to have the sustainable freedom and to never pay for another diet ever again, to never spend hours on Google wasting time that could be spent with your friends and family, okay? You are so deserving of this. So I will drop the link in the show notes. Go apply to BPM if that feels exciting to you. And also if you're like, hey, maybe you've seen it, you're like, I don't know if BPM's the right fit. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Come send me a DM. Let me know. We will chat over it. I am very transparent about what is and is not a good fit. I want you to be transparent as well. I lay everything out on the table. I don't believe in beating around the bush. I believe in getting to the point because I want to expedite your results. And by me beating around the bush, that's not helping you. And by you also beating around the bush, it's not helping me help you. So I want to get to the point. I want you to see success. So please send me a message on Instagram and say, hey, Caitlen, here's what's up. I was listening to your podcast. I need help. I'm not sure if BPM's the right fit for me. Can we talk about what's going on? Let's talk about, your courses. Let me hear the other thing. Let's see what's a good fit so I can help you succeed and help you actually start taking action on your results in a way that feels good to you and in a way that helps you show up. Okay. So without any more novels here, again, I love this episode because it is one that I personally struggled so much with my relationship with the scale, and it ruined my day so many times, and now I could care less what's on the scale, and I really just, I don't care. It's about how I feel in my body, and that's what's important. So with all of this, please share this with a friend if you were like, wow, that was really insightful. Wow, that was great. Please send me a DM if you need my support. I am here for you. It is zero pressure ever, zero pressure ever. I am here to support you though if you need me. And please don't forget to do a 5-star rate and review because it makes me so happy. I adore you all to pieces, and I will see you in the next episode. I'm a beautiful peach.